All right, settle down, folks. We've got a heavyweight bout tonight. This is not just any ordinary match. This is the clash of the titans, the ultimate showdown between two of nature's most formidable creatures. In this corner, weighing in at a respectable 400 pounds, the hairy, scary, banana-breath behemoth, the gorilla. Known for its incredible strength and agility, this primate is not one to be underestimated. With muscles that could rival a bodybuilder's and a roar that can send shivers down your spine, the gorilla is ready to take on any challenge. And in the other corner, clocking in at a cool 1,500 pounds, the blubbery, tubby, seal-clubbing champion, the polar bear. This Arctic giant is a force of nature, with a bite that can crush bones and a swipe that can knock out its prey in one blow. The polar bear is the undisputed king of the ice, and tonight it's ready to defend its title. Let's be honest, this whole thing is ridiculous. A gorilla versus a polar bear, it's like something out of a bizarre fever dream. A gorilla versus a polar bear, it's like pitting a toaster against a refrigerator. Sure, they're both appliances, but one makes toast and the other keeps your beer cold. Totally different skill sets. It's like pitting a toaster against a refrigerator. Sure, they're both appliances, but one makes toast and the other keeps your beer cold. Totally different skill sets. The gorilla, with its dexterous hands and sharp intellect, is like the toaster, precise and efficient. The polar bear, on the other hand, is the refrigerator, a massive, unyielding presence that dominates its environment. But hey, who am I to judge? I'm just a guy on a couch, probably wearing pants I shouldn't be wearing in public, ready to watch some simulated animal carnage. This is the kind of spectacle that makes you question your life choices, but also makes you glad you have a front row seat to the madness. I'm just a guy on a couch, probably wearing pants I shouldn't be wearing in public, ready to watch some simulated animal carnage. So grab your popcorn, your favorite beverage, preferably something strong, and let's get ready to rumble. This is the kind of event that brings people together, uniting us in our shared love of the absurd and the extraordinary. This is going to be epic, or pathetic, or maybe both. Either way, it'll definitely be something to talk about at the water cooler tomorrow. Whether you're rooting for the gorilla or the polar bear, one thing's for sure: this is a match you won't want to miss. Assuming we all still have jobs after witnessing this simulated bloodbath. But hey, that's the risk we take for the sake of entertainment, right? So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. This is fur versus fist, and it's about to get wild. Get ready for a night of unexpected twists, turns, and maybe even a few laughs along the way. Let's break down the stats, shall we? In one corner, we have the mighty gorilla, a creature of immense power and surprising intelligence. And in the other corner, the formidable polar bear, a beast of sheer strength and endurance. Let's dive into the details. The gorilla impressive upper body strength, capable of lifting over 1,800 pounds, which is more than 10 times its body weight. It can rip your arms off and beat you with them, showcasing its raw power and aggression. And with its dexterous hands, it probably knows how to open a childproof aspirin bottle. Downsides: despite its strength, it's relatively small compared to some other predators, has no natural armor to protect itself, and is probably prone to temper tantrums, which could be a double-edged sword in a fight. The polar bear, on the other hand, is a hulking mass of muscle, fat, and pure, unadulterated rage. Weighing up to 1,500 pounds, it's built like a tank. Built for the Arctic freeze, this beast can swim for days, covering vast distances in search of food. It can smell a seal from miles away, thanks to its incredibly keen sense of smell. And with its resourcefulness, it probably has a surprisingly good credit score. But let's not get carried away. Weaknesses: it's a little slow on land, not built for speed but for power. Maybe a bit too reliant on blubber for insulation, which can be a disadvantage in warmer climates, and possibly susceptible to sunburn, making it vulnerable in environments outside its icy home. So who has the edge? It's a tough call. The gorilla's agility and intelligence versus the polar bear's brute strength and endurance. It's like trying to decide between a steak knife and a chainsaw. Both have their unique advantages and can do some serious damage. Both can do some serious damage, but one is slightly more enthusiastic about the process. The gorilla might strategize, using its environment to its advantage, while the polar bear relies on sheer force and resilience. In the end, it might come down to the terrain and circumstances of their encounter. The gorilla, despite its impressive physique, is essentially a giant, hairy toddler. Sure, it can pound its chest, throw feces, and dismantle a banana plantation in minutes. But is that really going to help against a predator designed to kill things much larger than itself, let's be honest? The gorilla's best bet is to throw a tantrum so epic, so earth-shattering, that the polar bear just walks away out of sheer annoyance. Imagine the scene. The polar bear charging, ready to maul, and the gorilla just throws itself on the ground, screaming and pounding its fists. It might actually work. Who wants to deal with that kind of drama? Not even a polar bear, I'm guessing. The polar bear, however, is no stranger to conflict. This is an animal that literally hunts seals for a living. Seals, adorable, slippery masters of underwater escape. If a polar bear can catch a seal, a gorilla is probably a piece of cake. Or more accurately, a piece of banana. With its powerful jaws, razor-sharp claws, and thick blubber acting as natural armor, the polar bear is a walking, breathing, swimming tank. It's the kind of creature you wouldn't want to meet in a dark alley or a brightly lit zoo enclosure for that matter. So, advantage polar bear, maybe. But let's not forget, gorillas are surprisingly agile. They can climb, they can swing, and they can probably steal your wallet before you even realize it's gone. Section 5. Hypothetical Habitat Havoc, Jungle Rumble versus Arctic Apocalypse. Imagine a showdown between two of nature's most formidable creatures, each in their own extreme environments. It's a clash of titans, a battle of the ages. Let's imagine these two titans clashing in their respective habitats. First up, the jungle. The jungle is a vibrant, chaotic maze of life with dense foliage, towering trees, and a cacophony of sounds. It's a place where every creature has to be on its toes, constantly adapting to survive. The gorilla has the home field advantage, swinging through trees with ease, using the dense foliage for cover, and navigating the jungle floor with the agility of a seasoned warrior. It's in its element, every vine and branch a tool for survival. The polar bear, meanwhile, is sweating like a fat guy in a sauna, tripping over vines and probably complaining about the lack of decent air conditioning. It's a fish out of water, struggling to cope with the heat and the unfamiliar terrain. The jungle is a far cry from the icy expanse it's used to. Now switch the scene to the Arctic. The Arctic is a stark, frozen wilderness where the cold bites and the wind howls. It's a place of extremes where only the toughest can survive. The gorilla is shivering, its teeth chattering, desperately trying to fashion a coat out of frozen banana leaves. It's out of its depth, struggling to stay warm and find food in this icy wasteland. The cold is relentless, sapping its strength and will. The polar bear, on the other hand, is in its element, swimming through icy waters with grace, blending seamlessly with the snowy landscape, and hunting with the precision of a seasoned predator. It's built for this environment, every aspect of its physiology adapted to the cold. So, environment plays a key role. Each creature thrives in its own habitat, but struggles in the others. It's a reminder of the incredible adaptability of nature and the importance of the right environment for survival. It's like trying to fight a kangaroo in a bouncy castle. You're just asking for trouble. Each environment has its own challenges and advantages, and only those who are perfectly adapted can truly thrive. Section 6, Fight Night, Round 1, Ding, Ding. The bell rings and the two behemoths charge. The gorilla, fueled by bananas and rage, throws a haymaker. The polar bear, fueled by fish and general grumpiness, swipes with its massive paw. The gorilla's punch connects, but the polar bear's blubber absorbs the impact. The polar bear's swipe, however, sends the gorilla tumbling. Round 1 goes to the bear, but it's a close call. The crowd goes wild, throwing peanuts, popcorn, and probably a few stray cell phones. This is turning out to be even more ridiculous than we anticipated. Section 7, Mid-Fight Musings, Expert Commentary from a guy on his couch. Alright, let's take a breather. This fight is intense. I need another beer and maybe some nachos. Anyone else getting hungry? Seriously though, who would have thought a simulated animal fight could be so gripping? It's like a nature documentary directed by Quentin Tarantino. I'm starting to think the gorilla might be outmatched. It's got heart, I'll give it that, but the polar bear is just too big, too strong, too bear-like. Section 8, Fight Night Round 2, the thriller in vanilla or Manila. Round 2 begins, and the gorilla is showing signs of fatigue. The polar bear, however, seems to be getting warmed up. It's like watching a snowball fight between a toddler and a snowplow. The gorilla tries to climb a nearby iceberg, but the polar bear simply shrugs and knocks the whole thing over. The gorilla lands with a thud, and the polar bear pounces. It's not looking good for the king of the jungle. He's about to become the king of the slushy. Section 9, and the winner is probably not who you think. Just as the polar bear is about to deliver the final blow, something unexpected happens. A seal pops its head out of the water, distracting the polar bear. The gorilla, seeing its opportunity, grabs a nearby fish and throws it at the polar bear's head. The polar bear, momentarily stunned, slips on the ice and falls, knocking itself unconscious. The gorilla, bruised, battered, and smelling slightly of fish, stands victorious. The crowd erupts in cheers, throwing confetti, streamers, and probably a few more cell phones. Nobody saw that coming. Not even me, and I'm making this up as I go along. Section 10, Post-Fight Ponderings, the existential aftermath. So, what have we learned today? Absolutely nothing. This entire exercise was pointless, absurd, and probably a waste of everyone's time, but hey, at least we got a good laugh, right? And isn't that what life's all about? Laughing at the absurdity of it all while simultaneously questioning our own existence and the meaning of a simulated gorilla versus polar bear fight. Yeah, I thought so. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need another beer and maybe some therapy.